Hello, this is Travis, and this is the MEC140 Intro to Robotics final project, the recycling robot. The goal for this project was to create a robot that autonomously drives around a track and picks up 5 cans. This is the initial design for the robot. This is the robot's arm. Using VEX components, I created a gearbox using a VEX DC motor to drive it and a VEX potentiometer. Here is the claw for the robot. I've built it with a VEX ultrasonic sensor, another DC motor, one more potentiometer, and as you can see, it's another gearbox that drives the arms of the claw. There it is assembled with the robot. There's the 3 VEX line tracking sensors on the front that guides the robot and sees where it's at on the track. There's my robot fully assembled. You can see there I have big wheels. I have 2 big gears being driven by a small gear on either side, driven by 2 VEX DC motors. And here is the bucket on the back of the robot that collects all of the cans on the track. And this is the Arduino IDE sketch for the robot. Looking at the program itself, I've included the VEX LCD library, the servo library, the new ping library, which is for the ultrasonic sensor. I've defined the ultrasensors, input 13 on the Arduino motor controller board, and output 12. I put a max distance of 200. And right here you can see I've declared my line trackers. The robot itself, I've declared a threshold of 500. I've declared the pot claw pin and the potentiometer arm pin, can distance. Right here I've declared that all 4 motors, the claw motor, the arm motor, and then the left and right motor that drive the robot are all servos. In the void setup I've attached the claw motor to pin 3, the arm motor to pin 5, the right motor to pin 10, and the left motor to pin 11. Right here in the void loop, I have everything set up in a while loop. While the robot is read less than 5, it will jump into the while loop and do all of the commands that I've listed here. The line trackers are analog read, analog pins 0, 1, and 2. And right below that I have the programming code for the LCD that's connected to the Arduino, as well as the can distance and the sonar ping for the ultrasonic sensor. Right here I'll show you the LCD testing that I did prior to putting it on the track. You
We're
can
just
see
trying to get
here the VEX
LCDs.
LCD working. It shows it lowering the arm and it lowers the can distance that the ultrasonic sensor picks up. Once it reaches that threshold, it closes the arm and then lifts the arm, drops the can, opens the claw, drops the can, or drops the arm, and it will continue to do that throughout the course. Back to the sketch. I have the if statement. If can distance is less than 12 and greater than 5, it'll jump into the if statement. And I've programmed the Arduino using functions. Um, Here you can see I have full stop, close claw, raise arm, open claw, lower arm, and then it counts each time it sees the can. I have an if-else statements here, which is the basic code needed to drive the robot around and read line on the track. So it's a basic line tracking code, so that it can correct itself along the course and see the cans. Here's the functions for the close claw. At the bottom of it, I have a return command which goes back up to the if statement. So every time it reads the function in the if statement, it will go down to whatever function it is, void open claw or void close claw, and it will perform the actions that I programmed within the function. So as you can see here, there's a lower arm. If the pot value for the arm is less than 215, it'll do this function. It will jump right back into the if statement up top. Here's the final presentation of the RecycleBot in action using these function commands. And there it is, fully assembled. And I'm turning on the Arduino. As you can see, it's all connected together. There you go. picks up the can, drops the can, and lowers the arm, just like I programmed it to do in the void, in the while loop, and the if statement. It'll jump to each function depending on if the conditions of the conditions are met. If it sees the can at a certain distance using the ultrasonic sensor, it'll close the claw depending on the threshold of the potentiometer of the claw. It'll lift it to a certain position depending on the reading of the potentiometer of the arm, and it'll keep driving around the same basic line tracking program that I programmed in before. And because it's counting each can every time that it jumps into that if statement, it should stop. I programmed it to stop once it gets to the 5th can and performs the last group of functions. And here you go, drops the can, that's can number 5, and it's stopped. All motors are stopped. Thank you for watching.